I worry that me on my own is just going to be not very interesting at all. Hello all, my name is Captain Cat017. I'm a YouTuber with the dream of becoming an actor. And if you, like me, want to become an actor of any form, this is the podcast for you. So pour yourself a glass of an enjoyable beverage and relax during this introductory episode of Not an Actor. Please note this is a short episode, and you're more than welcome to skip it and go straight to the meat of the podcast if you'd prefer. But if you're choosing to stick around, let's talk about my goal with Not an Actor, which is to have guests come on to talk about something they're personally experienced with, in the hopes of helping others. But apart from the learning side, we'll also play a few games. Games may entail me reading a quote from a piece of media and having a guest relay who said it and what it's from, though that's just one example. Let's move steadily along to episode titles. Titles that apply to a specific type of acting may have a tag in the title. For example, the letters SA would mean stage acting, if the topic in that episode specifically applies to Nice. If the topic in that episode specifically applies to stage acting. As of now, the tags you should expect to see are SA for stage acting, CA for camera acting, and VA for voice acting. After that tag, there'll be a title like audience or emotion. And if there's a guest on that particular episode, it will say so in the title. As for how I choose the topic for each episode, you actually have some influence on that. I'm always open to suggestions through the Discord server, which I'll talk about a bit later. Moving right along, why don't we talk a bit about how you can be more directly involved in the show? So, I use Anchor.fm to host this podcast, which allows viewers to send in vocal messages that I can share in the podcast. Using this feature, I hope to, in the future, send out small scripts and have viewers send in their performance of the script for me, a guest, or even the audience to reflect on. With this feature, it also allows us to answer any questions you might have, so feel free to use it for that also. One thing I want to cover in this episode before we finish is the difference between camera, voice and stage acting, considering it's quite a large part of this podcast. Firstly, voice acting. Conveying emotion in the story with solely your voice. There's still movement in the booth, but no one can see it on the finished product. Stage acting is about voice and body language, focusing on making your feelings heard from quite a distance, since you can't exactly see your face. With camera acting, you also have access to facial expressions, something you can't exactly make use of in the other forms. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Not an Actor. If you want to find any associated links, like the Not an Actor Discord, or even my social media, go to my.bio/notanactor. Thank you, goodbye.